Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters, thank you all for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, where publishing and marketing meet, of course. To learn more about our services to assist authors and freelancers just like you in 2022, visit our website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. This is where you can find more information, a list of details and services we can offer you, from business consultation, taxes, bookkeeping, grant referral resources, of course, like we talked about on our last segment. For those grant referrals and resources, though, you guys are going to have to book a grant consultation, 45 minutes, and let us find out more about your business and the type of funding and resources that you can use, and we share them with you. So that's just a part of our business consultations. As far as the publication services consultations, this is for authors, this is for journals, this is for people that are looking to put together just about any book possible, but taking the self-publications route, okay? This is going to be preparing your own copyright, like not preparing it, but registering for these type of things for yourself. Maybe even some business insurance as an author and writer, marketing your book, all that good stuff. That's what our consultations help writers do, okay? So if you saw the title of this segment, it said homeschooling curriculum discussion. Though you homeschool parents out there probably clicked on this because you're already knee deep in what it's like to be a homeschool parent or guardian or coach, this segment is not limited to homeschool parents. Why do I say that? Well, the homeschool community is growing by the day. And it has nothing to do with shooting down, just putting down what we all know as the public school system. Most of us, anyway, us millennials, we were raised in the public school systems. But, of course, the times were not as they were today. So I'm not going to go into details what I mean by that, but it does matter because there are a list of reasons from great to little of why parents are either finding it more convenient to teach their children at home, or just better for them. Maybe they feel that it's safer. Whatever your reason might be, the more you learn about, and I'm going to go ahead and say the business of homeschooling, because in a way it's still business, right? Giving your children the proper education and the proper areas of education is going to be very important. So that's business, okay? Even if you're a working mom, dad, guardian, or coach of some sort, this is serious business, because just like what your child does in public reflects on you, what your child says in public reflects on you, or when you're not around reflects you, so does what they learn once you become a homeschool student. So we don't want to put too much pressure on you guys out there that are homeschool parents. That's not what this segment is about. It was titled Homeschool Curriculums, and how Crown Publishing Content may be able to help you in that area, okay? And this is all I mean. From science to world history to history altogether, English, language arts, math, these are the general these are the general subjects that a K through 12 student, even if they were in public school, or are usually required by state to be studying, even if they're in homeschool. Now, the curriculum part is on you, parents, and we're not talking virtual. I'll probably do another segment on virtual learners, because virtual learners are pretty much from home too, but they are under the curriculum of, a public school district. So whether we think that deep or not, guys, public school district curriculums come from somewhere. That's somebody putting in hard work. When you're at home chilling every summer, or on these spring and summer breaks, there are people that have to come together to figure out what they feel is the best curriculum for our kids to learn when they're in these public school districts. So I give them credit where it's due because it's not easy. Coming up with weekly curriculums, monthly curriculums, and yearly curriculums. What I think public school districts might be doing is coming up with them by the year, and we're talking per grade, per school, right? You might have 12 high schools in one district. Though they may be all, under the same curriculum strategies, kids learn at different levels. So their curriculum might say, hey, get this particular topic in this subject, make sure the kids master this in 2 weeks. If you got a child that's not mastering that in 2 weeks in the public school district, you know how that's going to look? Like that child is struggling, or maybe they weren't completing all their homework assignments, or maybe they need a tutor. But, in their mind, you should be catching on to each topic per subject, within the time frame that they set in front of them. See, failing is not the only option. Like I said, it would just, consider that child behind in that particular subject. I remember when it came to math, I would always say it wasn't my favorite subject, or it wasn't my best subject, because there were just maybe out of 15 topics for a semester, 15 topics in the same area, I would probably master 7 with ease. The other 8, I would need a tutor. I'm going to need to stay extra after class, after school or whatever, just to master these specific topics. So I just wanted to kind of break it down like that, because when I explain it like that, the average person could grasp that concept, that's the way it looks when it comes to curriculum and how a child is supposed to be catching on to that, or even a college student. I didn't talk about that, but colleges also have curriculums depending on the the area of study that you're in. That particular college has a way that they are teaching their students that particular area of study, and then they have a certain pace that you're moving at, if you want to consider yourself a graduate or a master in that area of study that you were in. So what does this have to do with homeschool? I think y'all see where I'm going with this. In homeschool, there's nobody necessarily, unless you call Crown Publishing Content, but we're about to get to that. And there are other people, of course, they call them curriculum writers, curriculum content writers, who don't mind organizing, structuring, strategizing your curriculum for you, for your child. Let's say you have a 2nd grader, a 3rd grader, and a 7th grader. Of course, just because you're teaching them all at home at one time doesn't mean that they're all on the same level of learning, or that they're all studying the same topics. Yes, they all take math. Yes, they all are taking language arts. Yes, they're all taking science. But their 2nd grader science is going to look different from their 7th or 8th grader science. That 12th grader science who's trying to graduate with their GED from home or their diploma from home is going to look different from the science of a 1st grader. So I'm just putting it in simpler terms, like I said, that if anybody who clicked on my channel could understand, if anybody who clicked on this segment could understand. And if they were thinking about going the homeschool route, this is what it looked like. So this is specifically about curriculum. We didn't talk about scheduling, how some parents choose to, even when these curriculums are made, maybe they want their child to move at a faster pace than what they were doing at the school district. So they might say, yeah, you're a homeschool student now, you're going to do 10 hours of study a day. We're only going to do extracurricular activities for you on the weekends. Or there are some parents who do 8 hours a day. There are some parents who do 3 days a week, 5 hours a day. Like I said, it's going to depend on what grade level, what pace of learning that child is on, because a lot of homeschool parents probably already understand the concept of tutoring didn't stop just because their child is not in school anymore. There might be some areas of study or certain topics in those areas of study that parent is not even, they of course graduated and they did it before, but they're not brushed up, they're not fresh, to where they can really work with that child to make sure they gain it. So what do? Well, you have what they call virtual tutors. And these guys can be anywhere from in the world, guys. Like, you had a lot of teachers, for example, that when they resigned, this is the type of work they went into. They went into, part-time virtual tutoring for homeschool students or for students that are in school. My point is, do not give up on tutoring homeschool parents just because you're not in the public school district anymore. Because it's just kind of taking from the advantage of that child to really master something that maybe they just needed a second way to learn it, like a second opinion, or somebody who is master in it, whether it's a young person or older person in the profession of teaching. Tutoring can be a very valuable tool. Homeschool parents, I want you guys to know while I'm on this topic, even if you don't want to hire a freelance tutor, you have apps. You have apps out here that they can help your kid on the side when it comes to speaking. And you might want your kid to kind of work that out an hour a day extra outside of their work, just so they can kind of grasp whatever it is they're struggling with. So just keeping those type of things in mind. If you haven't already, if you're just a parent, a homeschool parent that's on social media and you haven't joined any homeschool groups, homeschool community forums and stuff like that, that's going to be the closest as you get to PTA as a homeschool parent, as possible. So familiarize yourself with the type of things that are available for homeschool families in your community, because that's going to take you a long way. Maybe you're a traveling parent, so that's going to help you even more, because you can't just necessarily gather in person at these type of forums and meetings and gatherings for homeschool families, but you can stay engaged and in the loop when it comes to laws and changes and just things like that for your homeschool students. You can stay kind of looped in through social media or videos like these on YouTube. Don't forget to give this video a like and a subscribe, guys, because I'm about to kind of just pretty much, I've already kind of dove in when it came to what, in my own words, what curriculum is in a public school district, and how, practically this is what to use when it comes to 1 week your child might be learning this in science, in case y'all didn't know it. The next week they're learning about plants. The next week they're learning about planets. Let's say it's a third grader. The next week they're learning about bacteria and germs, just entry level third grade science stuff or something. So you're gonna still need a curriculum as a homeschool parent. Now, some of you guys, we're not judging you. You probably have K through 12 programs for your children, or some program that you found. If you're new or you're thinking about going into homeschooling, yes, these type of things exist, and a lot of parents choose to kind of subscribe or pay for these programs for their children from home, because they don't want to be responsible for creating curriculum and literally teaching that child step by step and keeping them on the correct levels they're supposed to be on. When they get these programs like K through 12 and all these other good ones, I'm just going to use them because they're a pretty universal one that everybody's at least seen a commercial about, ABC Mouse and stuff like that. ABC Mouse in K through 12 kind of already knows where a certain grade level child is supposed to be when it comes to reading or math and things like this. So they're practically feeding your child the curriculum that they go off of. But the two I named, for sure, it's some type of payment that goes along with. Feel free to comment. Leave in the comments other ones y'all know about, because there might be some homeschool parents that want to know. But to my understanding and knowledge, the K through 12 I'm referring to, this program, it is a fee associated with it, even if it wasn't always that way. Why do I bring that up? Maybe you got some homeschool parents that have 4 or 5 kids at home. They can't afford to pay for all of them to be in these programs. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and drop this on y'all. Because before apps and things were available. If people taught their kids at home, it was paper, it was books, and it was pencil. Maybe PBS News Hour on the radio, if the radio was out then. But this is how kids were taught, okay? And then, so let's speed up. We are in a new age and these things are available. But I just want you guys to know something like curriculum writers do exist. Before I even did this segment, they exist. I'm just here to pretty much welcome you guys to Crown Publishing Content too, because when you visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, it'll pretty much give you plenty of consultation and contact information when it comes to speaking with me about what setting up a curriculum plan for your child is going to look like. Jenny's second grade son might not be on the same homeschool level as Jack's second grade son. As a matter of fact, Jack's second grade son might be autistic, but he's still, he wants a special homeschool learning plan for him through a pandemic, if y'all get where I'm coming from. And then maybe the other second grader over here, Jenny, she's actually on a fourth grade level. I mean, just because she's that advanced. Just like in public school, they can test these kids. They can tell if they need to go in gifted and talented, or just need to be moved up a grade altogether, or in special advanced programs. You can kind of practically do this same thing at home if you have knowledge of and I do advise it. I advise that you guys just don't go from the top of your head and just use these apps and what they're telling you. I didn't ever say there was nothing wrong with it, just how it can save you a lot of money, and you get more of like a personal experience when you get to create the curriculum plan and pace that your child goes. Especially when you have a work schedule, you have a million other things to do as a parent to provide. That curriculum plan is gonna, y'all see what I'm talking about. Set up point. Look, watch how per se smooth sailing your homeschool experience as a homeschool teacher or parent begins to take you. Do all the research you want, guys. I had to market that because this will be on the website, like just more of a briefing and details about how we can do weekly, or maybe you just want it once a week. You're like, look, I can handle the rest of what my child does, or maybe just for this specific topic. Area of study like science. I could use help just when it comes to ideas or projects I could do with my child from home. I want my son to go ahead and be studying the art of engineering as a 5th grader. Nobody can tell you the pace, how fast or how low or slow you got to go, because you're a homeschool teacher. I want my daughter to kind of learn more about the history of art, because she is an artist already, and so she's not going to art class at school, but I'm a homeschool teacher. What are some ideas, Miss Whitney, I can incorporate with her curriculum at home? Maybe she's already in a program, not virtual now. I said I would do a separate segment on just like virtual student topic, because even as a college student right now, this is how I obtain my studies. So that's always going to look different. It's different from homeschool, most definitely, but it's still different from in-person learning, and just tips and like a discussion we can have right here on my YouTube channel when it comes to virtual students, because facts are facts, and a lot of virtual students still don't fully grasp the concept and advance at the level they're supposed to be in their grades, because it's facts are facts. They're at home, they're more comfortable, they're just not as attentive to what they should be doing, they're more distracted. So on my segment about virtual studies, we'll probably just talk about ideas for K through 12 kids to help keep them inspired and motivated from home, because a lot of us say, man, life would have been nice if we could have did it that way, but we would probably be just like these kids would have slacked off and not fully paid attention because we're doing it from home. So we try to understand that at Crown Publishing Content. I also want to invite tutors and just like especially virtual tutors. I want to invite you guys to book consultations with me. I am a publishing services coordinator for my own small business, Crown Publishing Content, because I have a few ideas I would like to incorporate to help homeschool parents. Homeschool parents, you know that practically when you go this route, when I say we're independent, when we choose this route, we're independent. Curriculums, supplies, tools to teach your kids, that's going to be all on you. Yes, it's a sense of freedom, but you still should have support. And I don't just mean social media groups. Where can you order textbooks and that's not going to be costly, or where can you rent them? Yes, there's places out here you got half price books and other places that are maybe the public library. But why not make more resources available for you guys? And that's why I say tutors, even teachers, book consultations with me, because I'm not going to say why. Visit my website. If you like where I'm going with this, go ahead and give this video a like and a subscribe. What I would like to do is just create more resources for homeschool parents when it comes to tools, supplies, maybe more apps and just resources that we can provide with homeschool parents who may have multiple kids at home that are doing this right. One thing I did just name is curriculum writing. Parents, if you heard me, I am willing, regardless of, as long as it's K through 12, I'm willing to help you strategize and even ghostwrite content right behind the scenes, help you gather more like worksheets, pamphlets. That's what it's really going to look like. I'm trying to find like a way to explain what would come with this. But you know how teachers have a whole binder. If y'all don't notice this, I paid attention in school. They have a whole binder, and practically every 6 weeks, is, you know, each section in that binder is like this thick, because they're finna cover all that material during that 6 weeks. And then when the next 6 weeks come and those report cards have passed, they're gonna go through the next 6 weeks of material per subject. This is what you should look like as a homeschool parent, just to make sure that your child is not missing anything they need valuable, because at the end of the day, the main goal is for them to be able to pass that SAT or that main state test, or to be able to pass that GED test, so that they can move forward in college, or if there's something that they want to do, or some type of vocational training. A lot of these training programs and things out here, guys, even if it's technical college, university, they're going to at least want a GED. They're going to want to see those SAT scores. So your job as a homeschool parent is to prepare them for that. You have babies out here graduating at 15, 16 because they're homeschool students, and their parents did a great job at, making sure that they received the proper curriculum, making sure that they were moving at the proper pace according to what they were able to handle, and then they were ready at 15, 16 to take that GED test, okay? And like I say, your curriculum, as long as it has those core subjects, like I mentioned, math, social studies, English, science, as long as those core studies are there, then you might want to work in different stuff, new stuff, sign language, a different language. Your main goal, like I'm saying though, is to have that child is prepared and ready for the world when they, because SAT, GED test is just a part of what they're going to need to be successful. But do they have like a secondhand skill or trade? I feel like we should start thinking like that, because what if college doesn't work out? What if they decide that's not what they want to do? They go the entrepreneur route, or they choose some other route in life. Do they have something that can carry them through? And I will always think a second, third language is one of those things you could do. Just, other skills. Even if it's pressing and ironing clothes, ladies, for your daughters. She can start her own dry cleaning business. You just want to make sure they're equipped with other skills. We're in a new time, a new era here, where they can take care of themselves and not have to depend on, y'all know what I mean, because if every child chose college, this whole world would look different right now. Or if college was a doable thing for each and every child in society, you know, the whole world would look different right now. And then you got people with college degrees that are still having a hard time landing jobs. And this was before the pandemic. So anyways, just kind of giving reasons that curriculum is going to be important. Just stay tuned. I advise you guys to stay updated frequently. Check my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, because we will have tools and resources available. Hopefully weekly we're adding more and more, because we do see the need for just, fallback resources and help for homeschool parents. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publication Services YouTube channel, where publishing and marketing meet. And until next time, don't forget to give this video a like and a subscribe.